Now the right thing's the wrong thing. No more excuses to come. Just one step at a time, and the war has begun. Well, I hope there isn't a war. You know, said to be ramping up to a third world war. It's all bullshit. So I understand. Like the rivalry or tension between Russia and the Western world. It's just there to divide, um, to what's the word? Well, when you get sick of fantasies, Hollywood movies and bullshit like that, then let's get serious. Yes, let's talk about a serious subject like the Cold War, or the re-emergence of the Cold War due to the poisonings and all that. It's just bullshit. It's entertainment for grown-ups. And it's as much a fantasy as any Hollywood movie, or any movie really. Well, most movies, films. So, and I'm not saying don't pay attention to it. I'm just saying that see it for what it is. Now, I think it was the last one or the one before blog that I drew attention to Richard C. Hall. And without really explaining what I think of him or what he possibly is. And all I wanted people to understand or to be aware of was the possibilities, well, there's more than possibilities, of how the state, the government, or whatever you might call them, they, we all say they do this, they do that. Well, they, in this case, probably locked up the wrong man, blamed it on this innocent chap, and had a lucky likey who went in the dock, said nothing apart from to confirm his name and address or whatever. No defence. He was totally railroaded. He never, the suspected perp, never actually stood in the dock, never had his say, and is languishing in prison now and will be there for the rest of his life for murdering Jo Cox. And it was somebody else, a hitman probably. Even I don't know whether she's even dead or not. I have no idea. But what I was trying to make people aware of, and I'm sure you're aware of it anyway, most of you, is the massive deceptions and corruptions that are throughout the people who are supposedly governing and ruling over us. Now, Richard C. Hall, or Richard Hall, I did watch his output for some time. What really got me when I was really interested in the in space, the nonsense of space, of course. Although I didn't know that quite then. But he was looking at the Mars rovers and the possibilities that they weren't actually on Mars. And of course, we know that now completely. It's just nonsense. It's bullshit. And they're on an island somewhere, and there's obvious things that would only occur on Earth. Like everything. Like there is no Mars as a planet. Of course not. You can't land a four-wheeled vehicle on a light in the sky. And much like Bart Sibrel, he undermined NASA, undermined the space program, and that was it. So yes, he is a gatekeeper, in my opinion. He's the British equivalent, possibly, of that big fat guy who can't think of his name, Alex Jones, who freaks out and total acting. And this is what they do, of course. They draw you in by giving you information that is correct, that you can see fits with your research so far. So you give them that you give them sort of, well, you have confidence in them to tell you what you understand to be real, to be right and correct. So if you do watch any of his other content, then you must make your own minds up, of course. But I'm just saying that he'll never reveal the truth about, obviously the Earth not being a spinning ball, because all you have to do is look at his introduction. What's it called? Rich Planet. And he has when he's speaking in his studio or whatever it is, he has the Earth as a spinning ball behind him. Need you say more? Need you go any further than that? Possibly not. So there you have it anyway. So he is most likely working for the people who is deriding and breaking down to be liars and cheats and murderers. It's funny how that works, but it's all part of the illusion that where we think we're actually making progress, and we go down a blind alley, and that's exactly where he's trying to lead people, in my opinion. So there you go. And I'm sorry if I misled you by leading you to him, but I just thought the people who maybe watch this would know what I'm possibly trying to say. And if you didn't know him before, he's definitely worth watching, because you've got to know the tactics of these people. If you started off by following or watching Alex Jones and thought he was credible, you soon find out that he's not, because, well, you can just, a discernible human being can soon realize that he is a gatekeeper. When anybody dismisses outright that the science behind the I hate saying flat Earth, but that's what it is, then they are suspect. Now, there is a very slim chance that he's like many other people, and the programming won't allow him to look into it, because it's just dismissed outright. But I don't think so. Somehow I think Rich Hall is an intelligent chap. He's a very good orator, and he's a valuable asset in their armory, those people. So there you go. Now, the other thing I'm really interested in at the moment is Pete and Peter's experiments and research into well, chemistry really, and the fact that, well, in the latest one, I think it's the latest one, it wouldn't let me download maybe the latest one. I don't know, sometimes it just, I can't find it in this program I have. It won't go to it. But the one where they're describing that water hasn't got oxygen or hydrogen in it, or hydrogen, I think, really. Excuse me. Now, we are led to believe that water is hydrogen and oxygen. So it doesn't just not have it in it. It's just that's. I'm not getting at Pete and Peter. They do a fantastic job, in my opinion, again. But they said oxygen doesn't have hydrogen in it. Well, it is supposed to be hydrogen and oxygen, and it's mostly hydrogen. You know, H2. Oh. So, you know, twice as much hydrogen as oxygen. And if there's no hydrogen in it, then, you know, come on, you know, it's water, isn't it? Water. God knows what it is. We couldn't live without it. Nothing could live without it. And it's not hydrogen and oxygen mixed together, because you can't extract either of those elements, if they are in fact elements, from water. There you go. I mean, that is a massive revelation, to me anyway. And how much more bullshit is there in science? Well, they actually are unraveling chemistry and making a pretty good job of it, I think, and good on you, lads. So, well, that's about it really, as far as that's concerned. I'm just come in because I got rained on, which is a rare thing. Just over the last couple of weeks, or 3 or 4 weeks even, we really could do with some substantial rain. And it not just for the garden, but it loosens up what I'm digging, and it makes it easier for me, because at the moment it's all bar work. You know, if anybody asks me if I've done any bar work, I can say yes, I have, with a crowbar. So not pulling pints, but well, hard work, hard bloody work with a bar, digging. Still, you know, that light at the end of the tunnel is visible now, at least as far as the walls. Still a lot of digging to do, but like clearing the center. But I'm almost, well, I can't say almost, but I'm a good 2/3 of the way around, which is encouraging. However, I've just this is very personal, and you know, turn off now if you sick of me chuntering on. But I've just, I don't know, developed some kind of a sore throat, like a summer cold, or possibly, I don't know what it is. So I've just had some MMS. I've just started, I'll start another regime, I think, from now, which is a bit of a nuisance because you can't eat or drink anything for an hour each side of the administration of the MMS. So I've just come in now and gargled with it and then drunk it. It hasn't, the flavour hasn't improved, but hey ho, we'll see what happens. Anyway, see you later, chaps.